Hello, kindergarten, and thank you so much for joining me on my reading lessons. I am so happy to hear comments. Hey, I see you in my mommy's phone. Hey, I see you in my computer. So that warms my heart. So get ready to do again. We're going to do just questions and also focus on the objective on this story. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can begin with our focus this week. Make it a little bit bigger. Move this way. There we go. All righty. So the essential question still the same. What will I discover in kindergarten? And in this story, we discover that it's okay to do squiggly lines. That's how authors start writing those beautiful stories. It's okay to start with just one letter. We also discovered that we can work together. And we also discovered that we can play together. And the most important thing is that kindergarten is fun. So we're doing lesson number 7 today. So our objective is I can recall or remember characters in the story. And I can find the settings in the story. Okay, so before that, I would like to do my power words or vocabulary words. The first word is idea. Can you say idea? So idea is when you have an idea, you have a thought about what to do. So like in the story, the boy had an idea and he started with an idea of his sister and him going to the beach, and they had an idea there was a shark in the story. So that's what an idea is. So if you would use an idea, I would say my friend had an idea for a new game to play. All right. Power number word 2. It's offer. Can you say offer? Good job. So offer is when you offer something to someone, you let him or her have it. So offer is when you say, hey, did you want this? You can have it. All right, the next word is stuck. Can you say stuck? Good. When you are stuck, you cannot think of what to do next. So remember, in the story, the boy was stuck with the end of the story. He couldn't figure it out what to do next in his story. So in this lesson, we are focusing on the characters. And remember, characters are people, animals, or creatures. People will be like the boy and the sister in the story. Animals will be like the shark in the boy's story. And creatures was like, maybe we can say that the vampire was a creature, like Aaliyah wanted a vampire in the little boy's story. The settings. The settings in the story were 2 different places. Can you think about the 2 different places that were in the story? It happened at the house at the beginning of the story. Then in the middle of the story, he went to share his story where? At school. He went to school to share his story with his friends and his teacher. But at the end of the story, it happened again from the beginning. It happened at his house. So let's begin. So get ready to find a spot. And today we're just going to focus on questions and understanding the story and also finding the characters and the settings. Okay. So here it goes. Are you ready? All right. My sister loves to read big words and little words, page after page, word after word. My sister loves to write big words and little words, page after page, word after word. sometimes I pretend I can write too. Big letters and little letters. What is the boy writing? What is this? What did you see? What are these? Letters. And what about these? What are these? What is he writing? Oh, I see a word. I see mom. I see squiggly lines. Swirls after swirls, squiggle after squiggle. What are you doing? I asked one day while we were sitting at the kitchen table. I'm writing a story. Oh, I wish I can write a story. You can. It's easy. How? I know my letters, but I don't know my many words. Write what you know. Every story starts with a single word, and every word starts with a single letter. Why don't you start there with a letter? So I get my crayons and my pencil and a pad of paper, and I started to write. I started with a single letter. It's an easy letter. What letter is that, boys and girls? I. And that's me. When you refer to I, you can say that's me. That's a good beginning. Now what? What's going to happen? How should I? No, it's your story. You're the bus. Who is the first character in this story, boys and girls? Who is the first character? The boy is the first character. He starts with an I, and he says, that's me. What? I'm stuck. What happens in my story? I draw a circle. It's a soccer ball. Then I write another letter. It's you, I said to my sister. I'm playing soccer with you. Great. Where are we playing soccer? Maybe we're playing on the beach? I suggest. We have never played at the beach. So I do a bunch of dots for the sand on the beach. Then I make a bunch of V's, big V's and little V's, wave after wave in the ocean. Now what? What do you mean? You had a beginning. Now we're in the middle of the story. Something else has to happen so you can get to the end. I'm stuck again. I started doodling. Doodle another V, but this time I doodle upside down. Oh no, it's a shark! It's getting closer and closer. I flip the page to get away from the shark. What is happening in the middle of the boy story, boys and girls? What is happening here? Did you say shark? Yeah, there's a shark in getting closer to the beach. Why do you think the boy says, I flipped the page to get away from the shark? What do you think he said he's gonna flip the page? Maybe the boy is scared of the shark. So he thinks by turning the page, he goes to the next part. And here's the next part. The next day, I bring my story to school. It's my turn for a show and tell. That means I get to sit in Mrs. Seitz's chair. Everyone else sits on the carpet and ready to listen. And I hope you're listening to Miss Cervantes' story. Last night, I started to write a story. It's sort of squiggly, but here he goes. He's going to tell the story to the class, boys and girls. Once upon a time, there was a brother and a sister. They loved to play soccer. One day, they had an idea. They decided to play soccer on the beach. Ding, ding, ding. That could be the settings, boys and girls. So they went to the beach and played soccer. Then they noticed something coming towards them in the water. It was a shark, a real life shark. It was getting closer and closer, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And that, as far as I go, That's wonderful, says Mrs. Sight. What happens next? What about the shark? What about the brother and the sister? I don't know. I'm stuck. Class, do you have an idea? Do you have an idea, boys and girls at home? Jake waved his hand in the air. I do. Maybe one of them kicks the ball and it hits the shark in the head. Then maybe the shark bites the ball with his big pointy teeth. Aaliyah offers another idea. What if the shark's name is Squiggles? What if a squiggle is a vampire shark? What if she invites the brother and the sisters to ride on her back? And what if they become a vampire family and live forever? Vampires can't swim. Everybody knows that. Of course they can swim. Vampires can do anything. But it's my story. I don't want vampires in my story. If I was writing the story, I will have lots of vampires. Then you should write a story, but I like yours. So, what do you think the boy think Aaliyah's idea? Do you think he likes Aaliyah's idea? No, he doesn't like it. That night after dinner, I sit down beside my sister. Her face was buried in a book. I had been thinking about my story all day and I still don't know how to end it. Remember, you're the author, she says, without looking up. You can do whatever you want. So I get my pencil and I started with a bunch of what? Stars. Then I add a few exclamation marks. My sister told me exclamation marks make things exciting, and she is right. It is exciting, boys and girls. I add a couple slidey lines. What is going on? Asked my sister, looking up from her book. It's nighttime. The stars are out. The shark has gone away, and we decided to take a walk on the beach. That's when we discover this giant rocket ship. That sounds cool. Then what happens? Asked the sister. We heard a voice. It's counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Not yet, I said, adding one more squiggly. Just before the rocket blast off, we spied a Martian. We spied a Martian looking out through a window. The Martian invited us to climb aboard. That's a great ending. Now I have an idea for my next story. It's going to be about a boy who climbs aboard a rocket ship and takes a trip to Mars. And I think I know just how to begin. The end. All right. So, in the beginning, the boy thinks he can write a story because he doesn't know any words. So he thinks that he cannot write the story. What do you think he write a story about? Do you think now he can write a story? I think he can. He wrote a story using what? Letters. He wrote a story using what? Squiggles. And the story had what are these? Characters. The story had a characters, and it also had a setting, which was at the beach. All right, what else can you see? I can see right here that the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and I can see definitely the end of the story. Remember, at the beginning of the story, he started with a bunch of upside down V's. And then he add this towards the end of the story. And this is his whole story. So I hope you guys can become great, great authors in kindergarten. Okay, so this is it. I hope you guys enjoy the story and I see you guys back tomorrow. Bye-bye.